Mac A Zoe was in Juvenile Hall with me, man. That's before he was Mac A Zoe, you know what I mean? He was just Mac. We wasn't in the same unit, but when they make us go to school, all the different units end up going to the school, right? So inside the units, they might have 3 units in the school area at a time. And Mac was in one of the other units that went to school with my unit. And being that me and Mac was in the hard head classes, I was in one of the special ed classes for emotionally handicapped, and Mac was too. They would single us out the regular crowd, and they would put us in a smaller class, and that's when I ran into Lil Mac.
Society kind of looks down on us that grew up in the hood like we're lesser of, but really it's just that we had a lesser of environment. You know, if they had the same environment as us, then they would have turned out many times the same way we did. We're a product of our environment, like you said. So you were in and out of Juvenile a lot, right? Tell us about
that was like my second home. We call it down here. You just said Juvenile. We call it Juvenile Hall, right? So the short term for it in Miami is the Hall. And I was a Hall baby. So you hear anybody say they was a Hall baby, that mean they you know what I mean, that was their second home. And I talk about it once again in my book, Pressure, being a Hall baby. You know what I mean? I was one of those cats that was there so often that the staff kind of like, you know, you had them staff members that took us in. We had our moms, our Juvenile Hall mama, my Juvenile Hall uncle, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that proudly, but it was just, you know what I mean? It was a situation. It's my reality. It don't define me now, but it's my reality. Yeah, I grew up in Juvenile Hall, in and out of boys' school programs. You know, I actually spent more time in than these 50 years that I spoke about. I've been in more than I've been out. This is the longest I've been out, man, and it's feeling good. I guess we'll talk about that a little later on in the interview.
Correct. We'll get to that because, yeah, you got out in 2020, which I was like, damn, you just really got out in the middle of the pandemic. And I want to ask how you got out and why you got out, but we'll get to that. So, yeah, so you were in Juvie a lot. Who did you run into in Juvie? I think you mentioned some legendary people that you ran into. Mac A Zoe, I think you said. You ran into Mac A Zoe while you were in Juvenile a couple times. Tell us about some of the legendary street figures you ran into in Juvenile and then subsequently in the prison system.
Mac A Zoe was in Juvenile Hall with me, man. Me and Mac A Zoe, that's before he was Mac A Zoe, you know what I mean? He was just Mac. We wasn't in the same unit, but when they make us go to school, all the different units end up going to the school, right? So inside the units, right, they might have 3 units in the school area at a time. And Mac was in one of the other units that went to school with my unit. And being that me and Mac was in the hard head classes, you know what I mean? I was in one of the special ed classes for emotionally handicapped, and Mac was too. They would single us out the regular crowd. I guess you want to call us inmates at the time, little juveniles. And they would put us in a smaller class, and that's when I ran into Lil Mac, you know what I mean? Mac always been little than me. I'm 5'8". Mac was like, shit, if I'm 5'8", I'm pretty sure Mac ain't grow too much more taller. He probably about 5'7", 5'6", but he never got, you know, I got to doing my push-ups. Mac was never into the workout, that type of whatever. But, you know, as we ran the streets of Miami, we started getting to be popular, and our names got to ringing from different areas, that being the ones that would do something out the hood, you know what I mean? He growed into Mac A Zoe, I growed into Gigaveli, you know what I mean? Everybody in Miami know what them titles carry, you know, like the Zoe title carry something, the Veli title carry something down here.
Yo, it's crypto blood, Detroit flow, screaming from the D, knowing what the show, indicators are wrong point, OG since 12, invested in trade, living life like a pro, I rock it.